Katie, we are talking about 10 Tampa police officers who are in big trouble tonight. An internal investigation found they were not documenting drug offenses, getting rid of evidence, and turning off their body cameras during calls. But the fallout could be way bigger here as defense attorneys pounce and question their credibility in the cases that they handled, getting their clients off the hook.
Generally, when something like this happens, it impacts a significant number of cases. Mr. Alvarez is telling me coming over here that I wonder how many people have been confined as a result of this kind of conduct. Those guys need to be out, and gals, this afternoon.
So that's attorney Ralph Fernandez. He represents a man who just had his charges dropped. The Tampa Police Department is concerned that pending cases investigated by these very officers could be compromised. The TPD spokesperson wants to make it clear to the public what exactly happened here.
Let me characterize what happened here. They're being faulted for not making arrest in this case or that case, and not putting evidence into evidence as they should have. They're not being accused of making a bad arrest or planting anything, any evidence or anything like that. It's almost like cutting corners. They saw something. It might not have been worth writing up a report in their mind. You can't do that.
So the department right now is looking into their supervisors too, because he says they should have caught all of this.